What's happening, traders and investors? It's Rod with Power Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth. Today is Thursday. It's March 31st. It's the last day of the month. Hope you are well today. And in today's video, today's video is actually very important. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing some major warning signs that I'm seeing and spotting in the crypto market, but not only the crypto market, we're seeing it in tech stocks, so our high flyers like Tesla. We're seeing it in our major indices like the SP500 and the QQQ. Before we jump into today's major warning signs and today's content, make sure to smash like, subscribe to the channel, tick the bell, you'll be notified on any future uploads, and I would actually appreciate that very much. Diving right into today's content, the first thing I want to mention, I sent out a blast to private chat members. So we have a private community where you can sign up if you'd like to. It's completely up to you. You can check out powergroup.ca. But essentially, we've got a group of about close to 100 people now. And I sent out a blast basically saying that SPY was confirming, so the SP500, that it was confirming a daily bull flag. The target was 474. And this was 6 days ago. So I said 458 will be strong weekly resistance though. And I'll just bring up the SPY chart. I want to show you exactly what I was looking at. So it was this double top here. So we had 458.12, and then we got as high as 457.88, and we had that strong, we knew that was strong resistance, and we had this daily bull flag confirm, but we really had no support level. We have this small level here, a higher low at 443.71, but coming off that huge bounce and from the lows there, we were up in about a week, we were up over 10%. So you kind of have to wonder when we're going to take a breather and cool off some of those RSI levels, especially coming up to that major resistance. So I said 458 will be strong weekly resistance though. So I expect us to get to around there and then maybe pull back to about 450 again before proceeding to 474. Not going to go straight there in my opinion. We could, but highly unlikely. And that's exactly what happened. If I bring it up here, you can see here we got to about 458. We started to pull back, and if we just take a measured move here, let's just take a look at this daily bull flag that confirmed. So just real quick, we'll just show you the size of this bounce and how I got that target. So you can just go here, and that was the targeted move there. Actually, I already drew it out. There you go. So the low, high, higher, low, I was just missing the fibs. So low, high, higher, low, and higher high target was 474. But again, I was a little skeptical of the bulls because of that strong resistance and how much we had ran and without really establishing that key level of support. I mean, we only pulled back from the low of that candle, we only pulled back about 0.5%. Now from the point we started daily consolidation, we're now down about 1.5%. And like I said, we could be targeting that 450 area. We closed at 451.64 near the low of the day. So that increases those odds. So that was basically exactly what I was expecting playing out. And if we zoom in here now to this daily part, could this still be a daily bull flag? No, it is not, because we lost 455. If we would have held 455, we could have been looking for another possibility of another bull flag on the daily time frame. But going to backtrack here a little bit. So again, tons of warning signs right now in the market. As we know, Tesla wants to do another stock split so that it can pay a dividend. Shares were up and we're at about $1,100 there now. I want to mention though, on the daily time frame for Tesla, we are seeing, very close to seeing, a death cross, which is the 50-day moving average crossing downwards through the 200-day moving average. So when the 50 is above the 200 and then it crosses down through it, that's what we refer to as a death cross. That will be the first time that has happened since the lows here at $36 and before we started this massive ascent into this new higher high and all-time highs and price discovery, and just an absolute tear of a move, right? So we have to start being a little cautious. And like I said, some of our individual names are showing that. AAPL, Apple, which has been leading the market and very, very strong comparatively. It's nowhere near close to touching its death cross, confirming it. But again, this takes a long time to play out. Just because it's happening doesn't mean that we're going to drop right away. It could usually take a week, it could take 3 weeks, maybe even a month before we see that downside incur and ensue after we have these indicators, right? SPY, the SP500, we're seeing a death cross as well of the 50 and the 200. QQQ, so the tech ETF, is already seeing that, but we're back testing those EMAs as well. So the 100 daily moving average is acting as resistance at the moment, and the 200 So if we can get back above that at 369, then it's likely heading back to all-time highs. One thing I will highlight though is the weekly timeframes are extremely bullish on Tesla, SPY, and QQQ. So you know what this tells me? It tells me that we're likely going to see a face ripper of a rally, in my opinion, over the next few weeks. But these daily indicators, like I said, on the daily time frame are super concerning that we're seeing QQQ, SPY. That's the first time that has happened on the daily since the March C19 lows. So this is extremely notable. But again, we know that it could take a couple of weeks before we really see the downside from it. And I think we could be nearing a top of this cycle, this everything bubble that we're in. And if we take a look at Bitcoin, we had the death cross as well. But it came back for a bull cross, so that would be a golden cross, and then into another death cross. And now we're curling, looking to see another bull cross here into a golden cross, but we're seeing multiple death crosses and not that much of downside. I mean, we did pull back about 50% on Bitcoin, but just keep in mind that this stock split is good in a way, right? It helps people be able to buy it for less money. So if somebody looks at, like, for example, Amazon, they are announcing a 20-for-1 stock split and 10 billion buyback. So the reason why I think this is important is because not very much retail investors, not very many can afford, a $3,200 Amazon stock price, right? And then that's USD. So for us Canadians, you're looking at, about $4,000. But if we do a 20-for-1, that's going to put it at around 150, 120 for a stock price. So that would entice retail to be able to buy it and to be able to invest money, right? They might not be able to invest $3,000 or $4,000, but they can buy, a few shares at a couple, $100 or $150. So I just want to mention that we could see this happen somewhere around May 4th for Tesla, somewhere around the time in May. And again, I'm starting to see way more confluences and clues and signals that May could be the time where we start to see this market top, where we see sell in May and go away. And I really do think that they're going to be using these stock splits as a way to pawn it off on retail. They did the same thing in Amazon back in the .com days. And I'm going to reference the .com bubble, the boom and bust, and specifically the bust fractal here in my analysis. But one thing I wanted to mention is they did this before. In 1999, before Y2K and the massive bubble pop in the .com era, they did a 3-to-1, and then they did a 2-to-1. And then you can see here we had this essentially the ceiling and then this floor, and then we broke down, we confirmed monthly downtrends, and from there, Amazon dropped about 95% if we go to here, to that low. Now that's not going to happen, and you might be wondering how they were able to drop it that much. Well, it's because the market cap wasn't very much. It was only in the millions, right? Maybe 1 billion, but now it's in the trillions, 1.6 trillion. It's going to be pretty darn near impossible to tank the price 95% in that short period of time. That's why I always compare Amazon to a lot of these new burgeoning and upcoming industries and emerging markets, is because it's very similar in terms of their market caps. As we know, as the market cap grows and things get adopted, the opportunity it's the law of diminishing returns, right? So I just want to signify that we could be seeing these stock splits just like we did see in the .com days. And now we're seeing it across Tesla once again. There's already been a 5-to-1, and now another potential reverse split, not a reverse split, but a potential stock split. And just keeping in that line of thinking, look at Bitcoin here on the monthly time frame. This could be a potential monthly head and shoulders. If we form a lower high here, we also have the potential for a monthly downtrend to confirm. And if that were to happen, that would be very, very bad for bulls and would likely spike a huge wave of fear, right? So if we lose that low here at 32,933 now, that's going to confirm a monthly lower high and lower low. So that is going to be the key level on the monthly time frame to be watching at 32,933, because like I said, if we lose that monthly downtrend confirmed, and realistically, we don't have anything on the monthly time frame after that until about 10,000. We had that higher low at 9,800, but 10,000 psychological. If we take the measured move from the head and shoulders, that could bring us down to about 18,000. Again, things don't drop straight down or go up in a straight line, so what we could anticipate is a lower high, and then somewhere around here we come back down for for another lower high and a relief rally essentially, and then we just continue on back down. And I really do think that we could potentially test that $10,000 area, and I think that we could see a prolonged bear market. I don't think it's going to last 2 years exactly in terms of days. I think it's going to last 2 calendar years. So what I think could happen on Bitcoin is we could enter this monthly downtrend, and then we could consolidate realistically all the way through until the end of 2023. And then, as we know, we have the Bitcoin halving in 2024, which usually lines up with our bullish cycles. So with all that considered, again, I think that we're going to see a few more bullish weeks. I think Bitcoin is likely going to top out somewhere around the 55 to 60,000 area, potentially set a right shoulder here. And then when we see Bitcoin top out, it's going to consolidate, come back down to the neckline. And then while it's consolidating back down to the neckline, before we confirm the head and shoulders, I think that's when altcoins are really going to outperform. We're going to see money trickle out of Bitcoin into other medium and large caps and smaller caps. Altcoins specifically are going to explode, in my opinion. So I currently don't have any Bitcoin and Ethereum. They've all reached their 3.618 fib extension. We could potentially test the 4.618 there at 78K for Bitcoin, but personally, look at how much resistance has been proving at that 3.618 fib extension. And like I said, Ethereum has already done it as well, already hit its 3.618. I'm focusing on XRP, XLM, Litecoin. A little update on the rounded bottom here for XRP. We are seeing a bit of a break of this, so a little concerning here, but I want to see us close the week over 80 cents basically, in order to maintain that rounded bottom. But like I said, focusing on coins that have yet to eclipse their previous all-time highs. And if we just look out to what could potentially happen for XRP, if it does just what Bitcoin and Ethereum have done and reach their 3.618 by the time this alt season, its bull cycle is over, we could expect about an $11.40 XRP if we just hit that 3.618. Personally, I'm going to be taking profits at $5, $10, again at 15, and I'll look to potentially be out 80 to 90% of my holdings at $20. Anything over that, I'll basically sell 80 to 90%, and then I'll maintain 10 to 20% long term. I'm not selling. I'm going to hold at least 10% long term XRP. So that's what I'm focusing on. But again, watching for that monthly downtrend potential, and something we need to be concerned of as well on the SP 500 is it's the same similar setup where we could see this monthly lower high and lower low. That would confirm a monthly downtrend, and I got a lot of lines going on there. I'll explain that here in a moment, but that would be the first time since since 2008 since we confirmed this monthly downtrend. We confirmed a monthly downtrend the last time in July, in the summertime of 2008, where we had this lower high and lower low. And then from there, we've just been on a complete face ripper of a rally since 2008, right? Since the housing crisis. There was multiple times where we almost, so right here, we almost confirmed a monthly downtrend with a lower high and lower low, but ended up just being another bear trap and straight into a new all-time high and just turning every bear into a bull, right? And if we zoom out here and we take a look at even the C19 dump, we lost the monthly uptrend, but we didn't confirm a monthly downtrend. We had no lower high and lower low. We lost the higher low and higher high pattern, so we lost the monthly uptrend, but we never confirmed a monthly downtrend. So the fact that we were so aggressive here to the downside, bulls just met the aggressiveness and said, we'll buy the dip because there's no monthly downtrend confirmed. This was a black swan no one saw coming, and we're likely heading back to all-time highs. And here we are since that low there. SPY, how many times do you know in a year and a half where we run 120% on the SP 500 index? Most people are happy with 8 to 10% a year. So I'm going to wrap up the video here, but just want to overlay the boom and bust fractal. So this is specifically the bust fractal from the .com days. So this fractal right here. And I have this broadening wedge here, just using the real candle bodies. And look how much we've really respected that. This has been our local tops. We even came back down here in this recent dip and tested that as old resistance became new support. And like I said, that daily bull flag target would take us to about 474, maybe somewhere in the 470s, and then potential for a monthly lower high. This is what happened when the .com bust happened. Again, this is the fractal from that 2000 era where we had that .com boom and bust. And then we could see the monthly downtrend. That would put us into around September, where we confirm the monthly downtrend. So again, I could see us bouncing into May, sell in May, go away, then we start the drop, right? And then into September, October, that's where we actually confirm the monthly downtrend. And then we see this, wave of fear, capitulation. We drop to say about 330 area, which we also have a higher low here at 319, so 320, maybe even 320 area. Then we form a lower high, we come back up and we test that 3.618 fib extension. Again, this is the everything bubble of 2022. Even the SP 500 is reaching its 4.618. So it gives the potential that Bitcoin could do it as well, but I'm of the thinking that the Bitcoin top is in and we're going to see a prolonged bear market. And this lines up for SPY as well. If we take the boom and bust, this bust fractal, and we look at where this could potentially take us, we could go as low as 230, the 220s on the S&P 500 index. And that would be right into, the beginning part of 2024. So I could see at some point late 2022, we start the bear market, and then early 2024. So again, not 2 full years, but stretching into 2 calendar years. I think the end of 2022 is going to be where it kicks off, and then all of 2023 is going to basically be a bear market. But again, it doesn't mean that we can't bounce, right? Like in the .com bust fractal, we bounced 25%, but then we just formed a monthly lower high, lower low, and we had this corrective 5-wave structure here where we had the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down, right? So just forming those relief rallies and dead cat bounces, and here you go, another 26. Doesn't mean we can't make money on the way down. You can short it as well, and you can buy those relief rallies. But I think the prevailing trend for the next year to year and a half is going to be down. And if any, we don't go by this as a complete, exact picture of what to expect. It's just a blueprint on what has already happened the last time we were in a huge mega cycle and bubble like this, which was the .com days and the beginning rise of the internet. Now we have the internet, of money versus the internet of information, which some argue is even more valuable. So this is what I'm looking at. And like I said, that sell in May, go away. The fact that Amazon had their stock splits, and then we saw the bear market correction and a 95%. Again, I don't think they're going to crash Amazon 95% or anything. That would bring us basically down to into the $100 area. I just don't see that happening. And the reason for that, guys, is because of the market cap just being so big. So in just a quick recap, as we end up here watching the death crosses on a lot of our names, that has happened and has been the first time since the March C19 lows. Again, the weekly time frame, pretty much all industries right now, Bitcoin, tech, the S&P 500, we have MJ, pretty much all of our names are flashing extremely bullish signals on the weekly time frame. We're just starting to see these major warning signs on the daily time frame. So again, the macro time frame right now is extremely bullish. The daily time frame, we're starting to see some warning signs. But now at the end of this month, SPY starting a new month, monthly candle next month, opens up the possibility of a monthly lower high and lower low and a confirmed monthly downtrend for the first time since 2008. All right, going to end it there. Thanks so much for joining us on The Pursuit of Wealth. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with me, disagree with me. Always love hearing your thoughts and opinions. And again, I'm not right about everything. I don't have a crystal ball, but this is just what I'm expecting, this sell in May and go away. And then at some point into the fall, I think we're really going to start seeing some downward pressure. That could happen for a multitude of factors. Personally, I'm not really into politics and geopolitical events. I'm just watching what the charts are showing me. And as the saying goes, show me the charts and I'll tell you when the news is coming, right? So I appreciate each and every one of you. As always, thank you so much for your continued support. Again, let's continue the conversation below. Share this video with anybody that you find that you may find value in viewing it. And again, just make sure you have a plan. Now's not the time to get complacent. And if you are unsure of how to develop such said plan, consider checking out powgroup.ca or pursuitofwealthgroup.com for one of our memberships. It's something that you have everything to gain and really nothing to lose. So with that, thanks again for joining us on The Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll see you again on the next video.